Welcome back, ladies and gents. Game 3 about to go live between NoPing and Gorilla's Pride. We are in the drafting phase. My name is DKTruman, and I'm once again joined by Bowie, who is witnessing some absolute destruction right here. There will not, and I repeat, there will not be a position 5 Coddle this game.
Yeah, or 4 or mid because it got banned first phase. I really like the response. I think NoPing identified the problems. But G-Pride also banned 2 heroes that NoPing loves on that Epulze CK. Actually, I don't like this Enchantress pick that much now from NoPing. You know, it is a strong 5th pick, but I really felt like it was a good response for the Coddle this time. There's definitely openers that you can make the destroy this Ench, like Senking Mirana, for instance. I think it would be really good. Or any sort of burst damage. We see, DK Hoodwink, SK Hoodwink, Mars Mirana. All of those combinations are really good versus Ench. I would love to see them going for this sort of burst lineup in the side of G-Pride. Because then, you already have this Ench, so you don't want to pick Abba for NoPing, right? Because then you have 2 supports with no stuns that can only react. Oh, I love this. Give me that burst. Give me that damage, baby. I want that 4 with the damage.
Yeah, Shanking, very solid. And what? Now the Mirana added on top, and they might actually give Luis a good lane, which, I mean, come on.
True.
That's remarkable.
Turn to pick.
And there's
there
the
we
Mirana.
go.
Yep.
Clap, clap, clap. I think this is awesome. One thing they have to be careful about on Gorilla's Pride, though, is that Legion that we saw working really well for them game 2. If we're going for this, I don't think you have to ban Abba, because it's kind of trash if you would rather have NoPing pick it, because I think their support will suck. But I think you ban the Legion, because that is the kind of twist that could allow them to actually do well. Maybe even Wraith King. I think it's a hero that works really well. You have the save inbuilt in your own skill set as, having 2 lives.
Yeah, it's definitely that, like, you want to save against this combo. You could go for, like, I don't really know. Most of the saves are actually 5 position heroes, or in that case, as you mentioned, Legion Commander, Shadow Demon could be a possibility to just disrupt them out of existence. But they're going to go for the aggressive route themselves. They're going to try and take some initiative here. The Sky Wrath being picked up again. Of course, very effective in the first game for NoPing. That means that they should look for to be the team that pretty much starts the engagement.
I actually hate this. I'm not a big fan. I feel like the 8th pick is supposed to be used in a way where, like, you get a good win condition and you ban what's good about against that. Picking this Scarif Mage,
5 seconds left.
there's no real synergy with the Ench. You're showing your supports unless you want to flex this as mid, which I don't think Suits really likes. I'm kind of scared. They're gonna ban all of those combos that we talked about in the offlane. I wouldn't mind seeing the LC also being banned, because it's the save for the burst on G-Pride and it's a good combination with the Skyriff Mage. I think that should be the last ban for G-Pride.
You only got 5 seconds.
Yeah, yeah, they're definitely severely lacking control. Would you go for another attempt at the Soothes mid Voker?
It's Dyer's ban now.
Well, with no Tiny, I do agree that it's less likely that Suits will have a bad lane, right? There's not that many, especially that Invoker. I think you're right. With the Kunkka ban, they're probably trying to cover the Invoker they'll pick for NoPing in the 16-17 picks. So that's a good prediction. I don't think that's unlikely. Now, G-Pride, let's ban that LC, baby. Ban the LC, and I think what they want is more gap close. So I think you want a carry that has gap close, similar to what Anti-Mage brings. You pick this Ogre as position 5. He doesn't really care about the Ench. He can even survive this Skyriff Mage combo, and it's going to be that hero that allows the carry on G-Pride to scale a little bit more. So I really like Ogre for them as a position 5 if they can get that. It's also, usually what you want when you have this Mirana is a hero with a stun in every single lane. Usually it's easy for a mid hero to have a stun. You already have Sand King. having the Ogre as position 5, having the Fire Blast into arrow, makes sure and enables the Mirana to be able to like playing every single. Oh, they banned the Legion, man. I love this. Woo, baby! Yes! Yes! This is top tier drafting right here. Love it.
And as an idea of what might be happening in the region, or so I've been told.
Yeah, yeah. I don't mind the NoPing strategy as well. You know, this Invoker, I think, will have a better lane. But one thing that scares me for this Dusa is they don't have that hero on the side of NoPing that ganks or enables this Scarif Mage, right? So if the laning stage is fine, sure, Dusa farms fast, but I'm sure Gorilla Spread is going to get a hero that farms just as fast, and Bloodlust increases that. And NoPing, like this Invoker hero, he needs to farm. Medusa needs to farm. Who's going to make plays? That's what scares me about them, because they already have the playmaking supports. Usually getting Enchantress as a 5th pick for NoPing is fine if you know that Sand King is going to be banned, if all of those burst combinations are okay. This time they had to ban Coddle Tiny, so I don't get the value from Enchantress as much. But, you know, I said 0% chance for Gorilla Spread last time, and the NoPing lost. So take everything I said here with a grain of salt.
Yeah, you know, mistakes happen. You shall be forgiven. I was really hoping, actually, instead of the Ogre, that they went for the Shadow Demon. I just, you know, they would have it set up for the Mirana Arrow, Skywrath Mage, to save against Skywrath Mage, that sort of thing. And in case the enemy goes for like a Dusa or a TB or any other illusion-based hero, you'd have semi-ish counter. But Ogre, of course, makes a lot of sense because you primarily tend to win your lane against a Skywrath.
Yeah. You win, you're less likely to get bursted because you're a thick boy. And the Bloodlust, man. Like, SD, like, he can farm himself with the TB illusions, but Ogre is a more selfless guy. Just enables the Terror Blade fully. Which I think it's necessary, you know, when you're playing against Dusa. The hero does farm pretty fast, so you kind of want the Terror Blade to be able to match that speed.
Evoker is pretty good against TB, though. Like, their two main cores on the side of NoPing are pretty decent against TB. Skywrath is pretty decent against TB. Ench is even decent because you can steal those illusions if he tries to push the side. Honestly, everything on the side of NoPing is pretty decent against TB.
Yeah, it really depends how farmed the TB is. Like, if he's not doing great, he can suffer. But I think the Scarif Mage needs a stun, so... I feel like they're gonna have to get center again for NoPing.
Oh no, God no, no.
I feel like that's the only way. You cannot pick Darkseer. You have you have 4 range heroes, so Darkseer sucks. You need some sort of wall, and there's no hero left.
And then they pick Venomancer or Viper, because Viper for the first time is not banned. And then you just run down the TB in the lane.
Dude, I am feeling Centaur vibes here. Okay, let's take a look on the heroes. What is left for them that is melee?
Slash care about melee. I want to see that the TB just Veno / Viper. He's dead. Can't lane.
You need melee with stun. Maybe like a mag. Like just go mag, right?
Oh, that's actually pretty
Medusa
cool.
With Empower and Alacrity. It's slow as hell, and it could totally destroy their game. Darkseer, no, please don't get Darkseer.
Darkseer.
They go brew.
That's actually also really good. Like, it's really good against TB. It lanes very nicely against TB Ogre. Yeah, it's okay.
They have insane late game. I hope they get something greedy, but they don't. Okay. Tides have turned. G-Pride, they are on a timer. Even though they have this Terrorblade Ogre, NoPing, they scale infinitely. But they are also incredibly greedy. Brewmaster, the only way this hero works nowadays is rush eggs, and it's terrible if you look at a offlaner perspective. Usually, when you see Brewmaster, you see less greedy cores overall, but you have Dusa Invoker. So the amount of greediness when you add a Scarif Mage, a hero that wants to be farming like no talismans and a Road of Atos, the level of greed is insane. If NoPing doesn't get destroyed in lanes, I think they can just silly win this, because I feel like they're still the better team, and they'll scale infinitely, as we talked about. If Gorilla Spread, you know, if Guts does as well as he did with the Tiny versus Invoker, I think NoPing is going to be very worried, because everyone wants to farm, no one wants to fight. They have very little stuns. Have like almost no stuns. Invoker is the only stun that they have besides the Brewmaster ulti that takes aeons to be cast. So they're playing against a Puck. I think it's very unlikely he'll die. I actually prefer Gorilla Sprite draft, but I feel like NoPing is gonna take this.
Kind of same story. I also prefer the Gorilla Sprite draft, but I mean, they have literally 5 heroes on NoPing that kind of are terrible to deal with for Terrorblade. Until he, of course, gets to the point where he is 6, 7, 8, 9 slotted in the case of Parker. But yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think he's gonna have that much fun time this game because NoPing, there's a lot on the line here. There's no Centaur shenanigans. Brewmaster is nasty to deal with. If he gets the Ags, it's horrible to deal with. If he gets the Shard as well, like TB can't do anything in a fight. At least his illusions can't do anything in the fight. And that's like 90% of the hero.
Very true. Very true. Alright, so this is probably gonna be the first time we'll see Lewis having a good time, so I'm excited for that, right? He got totally destroyed in lane.
If he dares to lose the lane again, I'm gonna get salty.
Yeah, you can actually complain if you lose the lane this time, because it is definitely, you know, have this Burrow Strike arrow thingy. We're probably going to see some early aggression, because if they can get a Burrow Strike or a Fire Blast, the arrow from Jinek will get a kill. There's no saves on NoPing. A lot of heroes there are pretty easy to kill level 1. So let's see here if El Mishu is going to get caught. If maybe Sexy Fat will play a little bit too greedy.
Sexy Fat, Duster, Smoke gets broken, they spot him out. Sexy Fat's like, no, I want to face them.
No.
And now gets arrowed. And now, didn't they see them? It feels like he saw them.
They did. They did. I guess he didn't expect the Fire Blast to be learned. Usually not the spell you want to get out of base with. But that's what I talked about, dude. This Fire Blast with arrow is better than people give it credit for. It's actually 1.5 seconds down. So pretty easy for them runner to get an arrow going. They have a lot of kill potential on the side of NoPing. I'm surprised that they open, like, you see Sand King Mirana and you get no saves. It's very greedy getting that Skyrif Mage on top. So maybe I'm not really following the plan, but they will be susceptible to moves like this. They have no real ways of stopping any of these cores from dying, at least until they're tanky enough.
And it's all 4 bounty runes picked up by G-Bride, so that's also not a great way to start the game.
Or that... Okay. Okay.
Ouch.
That's not a good omen, dude.
I know, they all start their lane with nice thing. Yeah, all the couriers walking out. You see the TB, he's getting himself a nice band of Elven skin already. Ogre with a healing self Dango. All that extra regen makes the lane a lot nicer. And bottom lane, RDO, a little bit of a right click fast. Duster actually leveling Nature's attendance first, because he knows he's going to just need to try and bully them as much as possible to keep them away from the Dusa, to never get that combo going. Because you can't level enchant anyway, Genix is just going to kill the creep.
Yep. Yep. Another reason why, you know, the inch like that can be abused, but it's not like Nature's Attendant is bad. It's actually pretty good. You're gonna be able to trade really well. Annoy Louise, a hero that has pretty bad lane early on, the Sand King.
And the mid matchup is kind of an outplay potential kind of situation. Both have kind of kill threat on each other. It's a Quas Wax focus, so you can dodge the EMP most of the time, especially if you at one point get the phase shift value point.
RDO pretty low here. Gotta be careful. Doesn't have that shield. So getting zoned quite a bit, and there's a huge wave. So G-Pride, they could use that to dive the Dusa, but yeah, the salve will probably stop that.
A little bit too risky to dive. Like right now, the lane's going pretty a-okay. Don't want to risk it. Oh, countering the sentry ward. Yes, it's in the trees. They realize a little bit too late.
Yeah, good positioning there by Duster. You always want to keep those sentries away of obvious vision. The Terrorblade, though, destroying the Brewmaster. Look at that. 13-2 versus 6-1. Really good start by now.
Power of the Ogre. Just
oh, yeah.
pure annoyance. That's 90% of what the hero does. He's a tank.
Pure skill, you mean.
Yeah, pure skill, pure skill. You've got, like, the easiest targetable abilities in the game, and you are just a beefy boy. That's literally your entire job description. Be a beefy boy.
Yep. No Jakiro set, though, so that's definitely a couple of points taken away from the building.
100%.
But I'll forgive it.
Here's about the Arcana. It's a horrible Arcana.
Terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I mean, it was not terrible, but once Jakiro got added, like, the whole perspective changed.
I mean, it was never an exceptional Arcana, right? It was, like, nice with the weird chicken mount. Okay, Sexy Fat dies, Duster dies. Not looking good for NoPing. I can't wait for the 5-way tie for promotion.
Yeah, I mean, the lanes, man, they're not great, and these heroes, they need so much time on NoPing, so they gotta start getting kills around the map. But it's not easy, like, even if they want to.
Sexy Fat just TP'd in, taking a heap of damage already. Not fun, though Louise dies to Duster. Okay.
Interesting. Don't think that's supposed to happen. Also, Duster, we talked about no enchant, but he actually gets 2 points here.
Okay, respect.
Okay.
Just hoping that Janik misses every arrow.
The trick is that you get all of the very small creeps, and then it's harder for the arrow to land.
Actually, it is such a heads-up move because he gets the creeps. It means that RDO does not get arrowed because he uses the arrow on the creep. And that way, RDO does not die.
Wow. And that's why he needs 2 points instead of 1, right?
I saw a TP of a Miran or some. Oh, he TP top. El Misho's going to be chased.
Misho. Ooh, almost gets the castrange there, but doesn't matter. Now gets the kill. Beautifully done.
Does mean that Luis is now solo bottom. So, you know, about that lane that he should get, that is pretty decent. I think we can throw that one out the window.
Yeah, that's tough, especially because they don't have a Kato making stacks. This Moran is playing more of an aggressive start, but Sexy Fat, you know, he might have the same luck that the Senki has, which is not a lot of luck. I think he's dead.
They're actually tri-laning to make sure he has terrible lane, but that's the plus side of being a panda. You literally only need level 6. And then you're, like, useful. Tanking needs a blink. Otherwise, he's not useful.
Well, I would argue that this Brewmaster hero needs level 6 and Ags to be useful. Later on.
The Ags is nice, but you don't necessarily need it.
The Ags is the reason the hero is picked. I think that hero is...
The hero got picked before he had Ags.
Yes, it had a very low win rate.
But it got picked! So the Ags is just a nice addition to the hero.
Okay, okay. I like the positivity here.
I mean, you can still solo a TB once you get your level 6. You just destroy his illusions one shot, you lift him up, you have the damage as well. Like, you keep him out of the fight for the most part, stun anyone else for the fun of it. Like, it's so much usefulness. However, Sexy Fat's gonna get ganked again, and they're gonna find another kill. Now he's playing the Luis game.
DKTruman. You're not helping. You're jinxing our poor Sexy Fat here. He needs all the help he can get. And you know you don't praise heroes in a professional cast, dude. It's bound to die. Oh, and look at Yadomi. He knows what this guy wants to do. He wants to sap experience, stunning to arrow, no stuns on NoPing.
Oh no, NoPing.
That draft was looking pretty sus.
Very sus. It's not looking too great considering now is well, he's got 4K net worth at the moment. He's almost done with the Yasha and boots and magic. Bro, we're 7 minutes in. He's almost done with the freaking Yasha.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually trying to I'm trying to think of the hero grid and think if maybe NoPing actually got the Skyref Mage by mistake. Like, what is the hero? Maybe they want to get Storm and he clicked Skyref Mage? Like, is there a chance that happened?
No.
Like, I don't understand why you get Skyref Mage in that situation.
Because he played a really good game 1, and I think that's just the main reason. He played a really good game 1, and then he's like, I want to play it again. Okay.
I see. Ogre will find Skyref Mage. I think he could be dead, but nice jukes by the Mishra.
You gotta still be a little bit careful, because Silence is still very good at instantaneously against the puck.
Dusa is accelerating quite a bit. The most farm hero on the side of NoPing. But still, they like sure they can poke a little bit,
Luis!
but they cannot kill him.
Luis? Doesn't have a TP.
Oh, nice. Very nice by Dustin. Mid lane. Oil.
I don't really get what he did
Ooh,
there.
the arrow.
Yeah, their gang squad of Ogre plus Mirana, Janek and Yadomi are really well connected in their positioning. Like last game as well on the... of course there were some mishaps, but they are roaming again together and they're constantly finding these catches.
Yeah, they are. And now one thing that's very interesting, it's the Brewmaster that's going Earn, which means that the Invoker is going Midas, which means NoPing, dude. They're playing so gritty. They're relying on Jeep right now forcing the advantage, because their heroes are gonna be useless for a while, I think.
I'm actually severely disappointed. If you're not gonna go for Earn on Foker, then I'd rather see him go Exit. Even though it's not super good against Puck or anything, but I'd just rather see him go for Exit. Just rush it, get the Midas fast, you get the attack speed from it, you go ham, you farm 3 times as fast.
Stuns, right? I guess the Sunstrike loses a lot of value in this draft. So I actually agree with you, but with no stuns, maybe it's still better to go Quaswax. I don't know.
Yeah, it's boring, and like the entire reason that build works is because of the Earn.
I agree.
I'm not that happy with the choice. Plus, you know, at this point in the game, you add 4 points in Exort. You encounter that TB any point in the game. You drop a fat meatball on his face, he still dies. But regardless, let's see. Both offlane are struggling this time around. Net worth-wise, I'm actually surprised that they're not more farmed on the side of G-Pride. Luis, he's like... he constantly is getting hit underneath the sentry ward. He knows that he's under sentry ward, and he's like standing AFK. Maybe they won't see me if I move 3 steps to the left. Bro, there's like 2 sentry wards before, in front and behind you. Stop going bottom. It just doesn't work.
Oh! Woods. Can they get... oh, nice.
Arrow dodge. They don't have the invis detection, but they do. They actually had dust on Janek. Hit a leap and dust.
Okay.
Exactly that. Okay.
Now, and here's a big problem. Now that Louis actually went top, as you were alluding to, they have no means of taking any towers because all of their heroes are farming, right? And you guys a Sand King that creates this barrier. Do you want to make a bet on when NoPing is gonna get their first tower this game? Looks like might be bottom. Okay, well, just forget about it. They have 700 skeletons here. Glyph, please. Can you press Glyph, G-Pride? Hello?
Oh, that's for that's
Hello?
just right click it down. That's the way to go. 75 gold, easy added. They just lose the tier 1 tower. Of course, top lane, there's also no tier 1 tower, so it's an even trade in that regard. Both the safe lane towers, well, the off lane towers in a sense, being taken down first is not happening too often.
I honestly...
Denied.
Okay,
Nice.
They get the deny. Like, they had a Glyph for so long there. Oh, Luis. Can he burrow strike away? What the hell?
Okay.
Radiant's middle tower's
He just chilling.
He can TP out?
very slowly but surely melting. He's keeping them occupied, so that's nice. Meatball comes in a little bit later. Sexy Fat gets the kill. Is going for the Ags rush after his urn. But now is done with a full Manta style in like
11 minutes.
Yeah, in 11 minutes. That's probably one of the fastest ones in. That's probably the fastest one in Division 2. To be fair.
Yeah, I would agree. It's been a while since such an early Manta. Man, this game is looking pretty weird. But the Blink Dagger on Luis is also quite delayed. I really feel like Luis is not playing, like, you know, he's not playing that well. I don't agree with a lot of moves that he did this game.
This
and
game
now Guts
alone?
is like farming this wave. Like, they know the Senki needs Blink Dagger, and he's like killing the creeps. Such a weird move by G Pride.
Oh, they go
Silent.
in. Mystic Flare on Yadomi. It always bugs for me. I don't know why. Is it there for you?
What?
Mystic Flare. It gets thrown out and it just like someone's dying to
it
nothing.
does. Yeah, it does. It does. I don't know.
It's literally every Mystic Flare. I'm like, I hear the sound. I know something funky's happening, but I don't see anything.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. At the end of the day, actually ended up better. Like, I think NoPing got thrown off so much by that move that, you know, the Brewmaster pops his OT. So at the end of the day, they only lose the Ogre for a lot of resources being spent. But I feel like this Brewmaster is just getting more farm than maybe he should have. Like, NoPing, they're farming too much. I love this TP, though. Now knows that a lot of spells got used. They're not going to defend this tower. Nice move by G Pride. They could even connect mid, I think.
Especially like if they don't have Primal Split, you don't really fear anything at this stage in the game. Like, unless, of course, Skywrath catches you off guard with your illusions already dead and no one nearby to help you, it'd be just fine.
That's also a game, you know, usually I get pretty angry at Terrorblades that don't go second item BKB. This is a game you can totally go for Skadi. Like, there's not a lot of stuns.
Got the Dragonlance delivered, you know. Getting himself those stats built up. Pretty A-okay. Top lane, Louise is gonna die. 6 deaths on Louise or on Sexy Fat. He is actually like all 3 games had the worst early game ever.
Yeah, definitely struggle town for him. I don't think, like, I think the first 2 games, it's actually, you can argue that it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's unacceptable that they're losing top right now. You know, with no Primal Split. Just really weird. Oh, they even get the deny?
Well, they do. You know, they lose tier 1 tower top, but they get the tier 1 tower mid. So honestly, I'd be happy with that trade. Even though it did get denied, but that's a worthwhile trade.
Yeah, but I think they should have gotten an even better one. That, like, I think they're getting away with too much. You know, that's the way NoPing wins this game. If they can delay this more, if they can get things that they're not allowed to. And yeah, I feel like, you know, it's looking good for G Pride, but not good enough for me to convince that NoPing cannot win this game. I really feel like they're getting away with a little bit more than they should. They also have this blink. Lewis shows up top. I really feel like they should be going for more aggressive plays. They have so much kill potential, no saves. Like, there's a Midas on this Invoker. No meaningful items on the Brewmaster. They should be playing much more aggressive.
It's also kind of a, like, you've got the Voker. Of course, at one point you want to get, like, the Ags, but there's 0 setup. Like, they have no way to set up the entire Cataclysm. Unless everyone gets stunned because they do a Stone Gaze. Otherwise, it's like a Rod of Atos. But Skywrath is going for the fail of Discord. Surprising. Very surprising.
Right. They finally smoke on the side of G Pride. No vision from NoPing. But they are pretty nicely positioned there in the triangle. Looks like Dusa will farm the stack even before G Pride makes a move if they do.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if they can get this tier 2, I think this is worthwhile. Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, I mean, there is that nice little Harpy Scout giving all the vision in the world.
Pretty good move if you ask me.
Pretty balanced, I hear.
Dire's middle tower.
That's pretty
but
good.
they bought
It's pretty good.
the promo split for that, so that's a feature too.
Again? Sexy Fat, stop popping it for an ogre.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
All right,
Radiant's
now
bottom
they
tower
have
has
to defend this mid-tier 1 tower, like G-Pride. I think it's unacceptable that they lose any extra towers. Already
Dire's middle tower
really
is
unacceptable that they lost bottom, but Elmisho should be dead.
Oh, actually, Janek is the one getting bursted down. Elmisha staying alive, Duster keeping him healed up with the nice, beautiful Nature's Attendance Wisps. They will actually find Susan in trade, so that is not a worthwhile trade. That is pretty problematic. Because Louisa came in with that Blink Dagger. Is going to go for the bots, but look at this. They're just walking in Roche right now. Now feels it. Duster, he's saying hi for a sec. Doesn't have Untouchable, doesn't have Nature's Attendance Wisp. He literally just...
They don't have resources. The Primal Split got spent. They used Mystic Flare to get that kill.
Why does he walk in the pit?
Greediness.
I mean, at least
Pretty
get a creep or something from the small camp and send that one in. He walks in the pit without any way of actually getting out.
Yeah, he maybe underestimated how strong now he is right now. You know, usually Ench doesn't fear a lot of heroes, but now is Giga farmed.
Also, you know, he doesn't have Untouchable and he doesn't have max level Nature's Attendance Wisp. So, he does actually die.
Small details, DKTruman. Just a small detail.
Is you know, small details in a very important game.
Yep, a game that a lot of people would say, you know, G-Pride has no business winning. I think, if even I didn't look at any odds, you know, but I would imagine the odds are pretty stacked towards NoPing. And, I mean, sure, G-Pride, they're not playing perfectly. I still feel like they gave a lot of openings to NoPing, so we shouldn't really discount them right now. But that draft just makes NoPing's game so hard, dude. That is such a hard game for any of these cores to play.
I was just pushing high ground. Like, they don't want to deal with the late game of NoPing, which is actually very strong. TB has a lot of problems against these heroes once they get farm and items, especially now that the Ags is finished on the Brewmaster. So there definitely is a timer on the side of G-Pride. Like, it does get scarier if you... Right now, you know, until, what, 25 minutes, it's pretty good, but RDO is getting close to his own Ayaskadi. He's also becoming a pretty big beast. Not as farmed as the TB, but just behind him, which is remarkable. RDO is actually farming insanely fast, considering the head start that now had.
Oh, Luis blinks out. The first piece of the puzzle is ready for NoPing, by the way. They finished the eggs on Brew, so that's why they're trying to set up a fight here. But
Okay. They need some good invis detection. Arrow flies out, misses. Sexy Fat gets silenced though. Nice epi burr from Luis. RDO with his ulti. They already lost Luis, but RDO does do a lot of damage still. Luis staying alive for the time being. Now with the metamorphosis, RDO is not taking nearly as much as they want him to take. Soothes with the disarm. They find the kill. Sunday play comes out and they lose 3-4-2 with Duster being the sole distraction. Yodomi almost gets Sunstruck out of existence, but a big fat juicy win for G-Pride, even though it did get a little bit dicey. Like, if you have a Brew Split that fight, you get destroyed.
I'll just say this one thing, right? Luis, pretty dumb play. He walks in, they had no vision on the side of G-Pride. If there was a single stun on NoPing, they had vision under fog, he would be stunned and he would die. But he actually blinks out because the only thing they could do was silence him from fog. So it's just a draft. Like, they can go for such weird moves on G-Pride and not get punished. And NoPing, they even forced it again after the blink out, which I think was a mistake. They were relying on the surprise of the eggs. Once you're not the one really surprising G-Pride, it's a tough fight. And he gets a beautiful epi. So he does recover his pride on Luis. And dude, this Terrorblade, he's just getting out of control. Sure, they have counters, right? But the Terrorblade is as farmed as he is. They don't count for much.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's looking like NoPing might have a very tough game against SG on their hands if they lose this one, because like, this is getting dicey. Again, there is a situation for the viewers at home that if NoPing loses here, Wolf Team loses tomorrow, and SG loses on Monday, that you have a 5-way tie to make it towards Division 1.
That's what everyone wants.
I mean, that would be the biggest meme.
Non-stop insanity Dota 2 from Division 2. Please make it happen. NoPing. Another smoke, by the way. They really want to use these eggs, but now they are aware of the existence of the eggs. And the Dusa in a precarious... Okay, they pop... Ooh.
At number 1. And they get the tier 1 tower at the very least.
Okay. But, yeah, if they don't lose anyone...
Aegis is gone in 30 seconds. They want to kind of fight here on the side of G Pride. This is also finished. They get the silence onto Sexy Fat. Burrow in as well. The damage does get the split off just in the nick of time. Epicenter from Luis. He's lifted up sky high. And now Sexy Fat's going for the back line because they know they just need to control the TB for 15 more seconds until that Aegis expires. He's going to get silenced. They actually nuke him before the Aegis gets taken care of, but he doesn't have a metamorphosis either. So he's in a very rough spot. They will lose Sexy Fat in return. Great burrow from Lewis onto 3. NoPing. They pop the BKB on Sooth, but there's the Sunder onto RDO. He needs to get himself back out of there. Still has a lot of right-click damage. This Deuce is doing the work. Nice tornado on top, but Lewis again with a great burrow coming through. RDO man fight against Now does bring the damage, and he gets himself a double kill. Sooth is all alone. His team is dead, and Lewis is honestly making up for that absolutely horrible performance in the laning stage with those perfect 3-man burrows.
I gotta say, Suits used the Electrium himself when the Dusa was hitting 4 heroes. You know, not the reason that fight was bad by any means, you know. Sure, what's the problem there? NoPing, they used the first brew split to take the tower, which is fine. But then they took another fight. Like, as I said, Brew after minute 20, only reason this hero is good is you can get 2 splits in a fight, or 4 when you have Refresher.
Where are you going?
The only fight we've won, knowing there was Aegis on Terrorblade. As you said, they also didn't wait for the Aegis to expire, which meant... I mean, maybe if they waited, that Terrorblade would kill everyone, because he's Giga farmed. But regardless, I don't think they had any say in taking that fight. I think it was a bad decision. And G-Pride, for this whole game, they've been abusing some weird decisions from NoPing, from this draft to other things that they did. And sure, I think they're still on the timer. If this goes 60 minutes, very likely NoPing wins. But will it go 60 minutes, DKTruman? I think that's the answer us and the viewers are pondering.
I mean, I kind of feel like NoPing is going to take this. You kind of see it on the Deuce, how much damage he does. At one point, he gets like level 25. Unless you win by that point. Dusa hits level 25, you probably get destroyed. Which is a very big downside for the G-Pride. They are really on a timer, and they should know it. Also,
I don't think
one good fight.
They did a lot of mistakes, though, so they're on track to hit that timer.
100%. Like, they're doing a really good job, but it really is that NoPing need one good fight with a double brew split, and like they win.
They are halfway towards that second Bruce plate as we're talking about, which is why G-Pride is forcing this fight.
RDO,
let's see what happens.
Getting jumped. Epuze holds him in place, which is actually a bit surprising there. He tries to get back. Gets Epuze up again in the process. One brew split has been used, doesn't have a second one available. Dusa is out of mana, but they can't reach the Dusa because Sooth is keeping them at bay, and right now he is alone. His teammates are dead. And they are focusing everything on RDO, but Sooth is just keeping them at bay. Sexy Fat with the lift-ups as well, and I am actually wondering, did they just use... Why did they use the Dusa there?
4 seconds. 4 second respawn timer. They didn't check. Oh, that's the most unlucky respawn timer of all time here. They don't have meta. If NoPing can actually scout this quickly, they can just get away with Roche here. This is huge. Yeah, Duster's gonna do that.
I'm actually curious, why, what happened in the fight? They just used the Dusa twice while TB was trying to kill her.
Yeah, like she used Stone Gaze, so they didn't want to, they tried to buy time for that, but there was also something else that happened. Duster tanked the arrow. They were trying to set up the use into arrow, but Duster tanked the arrow, and the Dusa just walked away. So that was bad. Also, the Epi never hit the Dusa. I think that was a mistake. But
And also,
unfortunately,
NoPing
NoPing,
did a really good job. Like wall place, disarm, just keeps on knocking them back. Tornado, constantly keeping the Deuce alive. But yeah, Roshan is up, and they're gonna check it. Just Sunstrike the pit. Come on.
no, they already did.
Oh.
The tornado was there, but they felt like they didn't had the resources to take it. I actually think, you know, with Alacrity and the Enchantress tanking, they had the resources, but they're still, you know, hanging by a thread. Sure, it's a fight NoPing wins, but they didn't really take anything. Nothing changed in the map because of it, so it's still like an even trade.
Deuce has the silver edge now. Which is nice, which is definitely nice just to try and get out of harm's way. Going for the BKB next. At that point, you will have something to fear soon enough, because of course the puck is going to get his 25 at a certain point. Jump in onto Suze, forced to pop the BKB immediately.
Oh, the Roche opportunity here.
Yeah,
they... Okay, no, Terrorblade. Okay.
Yeah, the Ench is just summoning minions and pushing it into the pit, so they have pretty much permanent vision in that regard. Sunstrike scouting it out. It's not being taken.
Also worth noting here that the Brewmaster is going A on disc. I think once that power spike comes, it'll be much harder for them to try and do what they're doing here, which is kill Sexy Fat. Now, join... I don't like this. I really feel like they should probably go for a smoke first. They're forcing this, and there's a brew split. Okay. Hope he BKB when Roche is about to die.
Split number one coming in, going to say hi. Roche is dropping pretty low. RDO pops his stone gaze. He's just gonna kill off Roche. They need to pick it up, but the stun comes out. The burrow. Oh, the Yules is perfect. RDO. The age is gonna get picked up by Lewis, and the shard in the hands of I don't know who, but RDO is pumping out damage. He's gonna get epied. Lewis is playing a god's game. And that is huge. A triple kill, quad kill, no buyback available. The brew split, the secondary brew split is over, and that might just be game. Lewis coming in with the perfect play. I think he was also the one that used up the Dusa and yoinked that Aegis. God, he is performing like a beast.
He is, man. Total redemption here from Luis. I think, once again, feels like his trademark is having a tough time in the laning stage, but when it matters, both games actually playing really well. This now Terrorblade, great Sunders in almost every fight. The puck just creating chaos. This is at least 2 lanes of barracks, but it could be 3.
Yeah, this might just be Megas. And, yeah, 26k net worth, 27. Okay, it's gonna go to 28k net worth advantage, and I cannot believe that it's actually this makeshift G Pride lineup that is putting NoPing in the most awkward of spots.
Another thing we didn't talk about, you know, Mr. Gene 6-0 on this puck here, definitely having 2 amazing series.
Dusa ulti, but they get Megas. That's what they want, and a 4-man stun from Luis, keeping them at bay. Now, can he turn around and disengage? He might lose his life. Indeed, he does get taken down. Guts with the Dream Coil to try and keep Yodomi and the rest of the team alive on G Pride. They get 2 kills, but they are down Megas.
They have the late game, though. G Pride is on a timer. Eventually, NoPing will be stronger. I do still feel like they need like now about 25 minutes until we actually see that becoming a thing. Tough one, DK. Pretty tough one.
I would say so. It's pretty tough. Like how are you gonna like Deuce at 25 is pretty nice, but how are you gonna get this done?
Yeah, I mean, this is... I don't want to blame any of the NoPing players. I feel like they, considering the draft that they had, they actually played well. I'm surprised. I feel like this should have been a bigger stomp from G Pride. Overall, NoPing, they're able to farm Sexy Fat much more. So I think that RGO even gave up of a little bit of farm to enable the Brewmaster. Oh, Puck's just like in the fountain right now, diving on Misha. Okay. Cool.
And they don't really have, like, they have the Dusa, which is great.
Dusa's by herself. Hello. Is she TP out? Does have a TP.
Run, Dusa, run! Silver Edge is pretty nice though, and Sexy Fat's trying to keep them at bay. Now he needs to run his way as himself. But there's no Dusa ulti for 75 seconds. The base is being pushed in. They have actually like some of the worst position, worst supports on NoPing to try and defend high ground against Megas.
I still want to believe there was a misclick and they wanted to get Storm on NoPing. I really feel like Storm with Ench would have been a good opener. This Skyriff mage, man.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
All right, they're gonna go and push. They get that metamorphosis.
Well, a nice two-man burrow again. Dream Coil on to 3. And can they keep him at bay? They're just going in for the Dusa. RDO is disarmed. RDO is dead. Does have a buyback. Comes back alive. The Aegis also got popped from Lewis on the side. Mystic Flare, but he burrows out in the nick of time. That's going to be one of the tier 4s gone. Soon pops the BKB. He's trying to keep them all away from their base. But right now, like, they use almost everything. They do have another Primal Split available. Great catch coming in from Luis. And Sue's almost dropping dead, throwing out the tornado. RDO is out of mana. RDO is out of life. RDO is done. And that is going to be NoPing losing the series. And that means that G Pride have a chance to advance on towards Division 1. Wow. NoPing have a chance to advance on to Division 1. SG have a chance to advance on towards it. Like everyone right now, literally every team in Division 2 except for Interitus has a chance to advance on to Division 1. That is how close everything is right now. Wolf team need to play against Interitus tomorrow. If they lose, that would mean you're going to have a lot of tiebreakers. SG has to play one last game against NoPing. What initially would be the two top dogs in Division 2 have to decide between them if it's going to be a tiebreaker or if it's going to be SG keeping NoPing in Division 2. This